Showtime. I was very impressed with your knowledge and understanding of the foundation of read and react after only one practice. Albeit we didn't have any defenders, it seemed like it really made sense to you guys. So I'm just going to recap the foundation, then I'm going to teach you the next chapter. So if you pass it, you must basket cut. So we're going to pass, basket cut, fill up, fill out, pass, basket cut, fill to the ball, fill up, fill out, pass, so basket cut. We mentioned that it was awkward that he has to basket cut and go back to his original spot because there's no other spots to fill. Today, like I mentioned, it's the next level. So we're gonna talk about after you pass it, you have an option now to decide what you wanna do after you basket cut. So in this case, we're gonna do basket cut, then you're gonna screen anybody who doesn't have a ball on the other side. Have the ball. All right, so here, for instance, we would pass it. You have to basket cut. So now you can decide to come and screen for this guy. You land on 2 feet on the jump stop. This guy has to wait for you to land. Then he basket cuts. You can feed him the ball if he's open. If he's not, then he goes ahead and fills up this slot. You replace, after the screen, you replace that guy with his spot. That makes sense. Then you can pass it up, say basket cut, rotate up, rotate out. You can swing the ball, basket cut, fill up, fill up, fill out. Let's say this guy actually wants to pass the ball. He can actually go and set a screen here. Then he curls around the screen. You can feed him. In the meantime, he needs to fill to the slot. That's 1 pass away. So you're filling up, filling up. Take the spot. You can pass up. The other thing is when you go to make your basket cut, and then when you're in the paint and you decide to make a screen, it makes sense to call the person's name. So if this is Nico here and he's basket cutting, when he decides that instead of going back to his original spot, he wants to set a back screen, he should yell out to his teammates, "Johnny, back screen." So he jump stops on the back screen and Johnny knows the screen was coming. He waits for it and then he flares for the pass. If he's open, great. If he's not, he just fills the slot. Then Nico would replace Johnny's spot. Then he can pass it up. Then basket cut. And then he can come up here and cut for Matthew. Matthew, back screen, so jump stop. And then Matthew can wrap around for a pass and a shot. So basically today is a recap of what we learned on Friday. I think there were 3 of you missing. So Matthew, Grant, and one other, of course. I don't recall, but that we had a big fire. It was a sketchy day. All the kids that did show up to practice were having trouble breathing, so we were just kind of walking through the play, so no big deal if you missed it. Matthew, Grant, I can't remember who the other one that was missing. So anyways, we just learned how to do screens. So pass the ball here. You could even screen off the ball, basket cut here. You're filling up, and he's filling up, and you could even go back up and screen, back screen, cut it around, and the play's there. So that's what we're looking at. Kind of makes it easier to clean things up because now you don't really have to remember the exact pattern. For instance, this happened a couple of times where we would pass it out. So basket cut, he would fill up, he'd fill up, and instead of filling this empty slot here, he would accidentally come here, and we'd have two guys here, and we wouldn't know what to do. Well, now if that happens, it's okay, because now it's just a screen, and then you roll around, and he might be open for a feed. If he's not, you can go pick this spot, you can go up and screen for this guy, and he comes around, he's already replaced that. If he's open, feed him. If not, he can come and screen for this guy. And so we're just getting a lot of movement in that sense. So replace for that spot, pass it up, basket cut, screening here as this guy came up, roll it around, he's not there, replace, pass out, go down here. You can even basket screen on the same side. You're filling up, and you roll around, and there he is.